Hi, welcome to our next Level 2 calculus video. In this video, we're going to do some applications and find the gradient of a curve. Remember, differentiation is the process of taking a function, an algebraic rule, and turning it into a gradient function. So what we've been practicing over the last few videos is taking y and turning it into y dash or dy dx or f dash x, and this is called a gradient rule. So remember the different types of notation you're going to have to get familiar with. Y into y dash, y could go into dy dx, or fx could go into f dash of x. But the dashes or the dy dx's are all called gradient functions. Right, let's get into example 1 and show you the skill you need to practice. Find the gradient of the curve y equal to x squared minus 4x plus 5 when x is equal to the number 3. Right, the first thing I want to do is turn it into the gradient rule, y dash. So the x squared, the 2 comes out the front, times by the x, and the power of 2 drops down to a power of 1, which I don't write. The minus 4x differentiates to minus 4, and the plus 5 differentiates to 0. So we'll tidy that up and write it as 2x minus 4. This is the gradient rule. Now we need to find the gradient when x is equal to 3. So we're going to take 3 and substitute it into the gradient rule. So when x is 3, y dash is equal to 2 times 3 minus 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. So when x is 3, y dash is equal to 2. When x is 3, the gradient of the curve is equal to the number 2. Now 2 is equal to 2 over 1, which is the rise over the run. So what does this mean? Well, let's have a look at the graph, y equal to x squared minus 4x plus 5. And here's the point on the graph when x is equal to 3. And I'm going to draw in a tangent. Tangent is a straight line that touches the curve at one point. Now the tangent and the curve have the same gradient at that point of when x is 3. Now notice the tangent can move along the graph and the gradient will constantly change. We've been asked to calculate the gradient of the curve or the tangent when x is equal to the number 3. And we worked it out to be 2, which means at that point the gradient of the curve is equal to 2. It rises up 2 and runs along 1. All right, example 2. If fx equal to 2 minus 3x plus x squared, find f dash of 1. This is the same as the last question, it's just weird notation. Fx just means y, and f dash means y dash. So let's differentiate the function. The 2 differentiates to 0, the negative 3x differentiates to negative 3, and the plus x squared differentiates to 2x. So when we tidy that up, we get a gradient rule, which is negative 3 plus 2x. Or some people write it as 2x minus 3. Right, well, we were told to work out f dash of x at the number 1. So we're going to take the number 1 and substitute it in for x. So we're going to go 2 times x minus 3, 2 times 1 minus 3, gives us a gradient of negative 1. Now that means negative 1 over 1, which is our rise and our run. So once again, what the heck does this all mean? Here's our function, our graph of 2 minus 3x plus x squared. It's a parabola. And here's the point on the graph when x is equal to 1. And we've worked out when I draw in my tangent that at that point, the tangent and the curve both have a gradient of negative 1, which means it rises down 1 and runs across 1. Great. Thanks for watching.